Thank you for watching. Today, this is not your average unboxing. No chainsaws, no whatnot, because I want to get right in the middle of it. This is the team associated SC10B, my local hobby store, GDX.no. Shameless plug, I know, but I don't really care. They called me and they said that they have a bunch of team associated stuff in stock. Now, I've done a couple of team associated unboxings in the past on my channel, so go check out those videos. But this was a car that I really wanted to have. I love short course buggies. They just have a really cool look. They're super stout just because they have that full internal cage going on. Losi has one out. Proline, of course, has the Pro 2 buggy, which is an excellent vehicle and a bit higher in spec than this one. And then Team Associated has the SC10B. So I also wanted to get my hands on this one just because it looks so good. But I will get into that later. Now, what do you find in the box? You, of course, find a ton of paperwork in the box, always. In this case, no different. So they want to make you even greedier than you already are by showing you a bunch of upgrades, vehicles, and stuff like that. So this is all stuff that you can just toss to the side because you don't really need it to get going with this vehicle. You get, let's see, some more leaflets, and then you get this booklet. This booklet is actually one that you do want to hang on to. This is not your average instruction manual. This is actually all the parts numbers that the car contains. So if you break something, you can just look at it and you can look it up and you can order it online and you can get going again. So this one is handy. Keep an eye on that one. You get a manual for the radio. If you're not familiar with these radios, this manual is actually something to read into. It basically explains you what all the buttons on the back do when it comes to zeroing stuff out, turning it on, checking the LEDs to see what it's actually doing. Of course, with the SC10B being such a basic vehicle, you only need 2 channels. So that's also exactly what you get. 2.4 gigahertz, really nice, sharp looking antenna. It feels good in your hand. The steering wheel, everything is okay. The only thing that I freaking hate is this 6 AA batteries. This is not a surprise for me that it happened again. They cannot seem to find a way to sort of, I don't know, strap this down so it doesn't fall out as soon as you pop the lid of the radio. So that's just piss poor in my book, but 2 straps of Velcro and most likely you can call it a day. All in all, not a bad radio. Not my favorite radio that I've ever seen with a ready to run, but it isn't a bad one either, especially not considering the price tag. And you get a ton of bullshit tools and thingies. You know, if you have a bunch of pliers or some regular tools, then you really do not need this bag. There's also some shock adjustment spacers in there. Because these shock bodies, let's get into that right away. These shock bodies, they're non-threaded, they are aluminium, but to set the preload on the springs you need to adjust it with those spacers. So you just slide in another spacer to set the preload to the point where you want to have it. I'm not a big fan of that. I really like my shock bodies to be threaded, so I will be replacing these shocks most likely with a couple of Proline Power Strokes, because those are shocks that I have some really good experience with. Also, I think that the front seems unnecessarily firm, the back seems okay, but they are a bit squeaky too, and rather than rebuilding them, I'm just going to replace them. Now, mind you, this doesn't mean that these are bad shocks in any way, it's just personal preference. Another thing that, again, personal preference, that I do question is the use of 2 different tires. So you have sort of like a regular short course tire in the front, which seems to be unreasonably hard when it comes to the rubber compound, and then you have like a pin tire in the back of a softer compound. I'm pretty sure there is a reason behind all of this. I, for one, can not figure it out. So for me, these wheels and tires are coming off and they're going to be replaced with a couple of pretty cool looking trenchers most likely, or I don't know, maybe I'll go a different route, but some Proline tires in any case. On to all the positives, because I mean these are not negatives, this is just a personal preference. I'm going to turn this car into a 1 video project build, so I'm just going to make it look completely different when it comes to the color scheme and whatnot. I chose to go with this one to do that specific video because of one good reason. This body is really well protected, and I have been getting a couple of questions from people who say I bought a ready to run car. I do like the shape of the body, but I do not like the color scheme. In this case, I actually like the color scheme, so there's nothing wrong with it. as it stands, but for the purpose of demonstrating how to actually switch it around and make it look completely different, this car is going to be sacrificed. I also I plan on, I don't know, mounting some lights and stuff like that. But this in basic shape is really well looking car, and I don't say that too often, but this one is actually a job really well done. I like the way that cage pops out. It looks pretty old school. I like the way that you have the driver sitting in the interior. I'm not sure if you can pick that up from there. Otherwise, we'll make sure that you get a close-up of it. Behind the driver, you actually have two big cooling fins to, well, radiators going on. So there's also some engine detail in there. And all in all, it just looks really good. Also with these nerve bars coming out. It's a really good looking car. The window nets on this car are rubber, so not like they were, for example, on the Pro 2 molded hard plastic, but they're actually rubber, which I like. And one thing that, again, I do not like is the shininess of the interior. So they painted everything black, then took off the clear overspray film. They of course painted it from the underside, but what you end up with is it's almost like a dude in a gimp suit driving the car. So that's something that I want to do something with, because I don't really like that the way it looks right now. What I want to do is I'm going to paint this car in the next video. I'm going to paint it from the outside because of the cage and the bumper and the nerve bars. This Lexan is so well protected, and I'm pretty confident that painting it from the outside will not cause me any problems. Another really cool thing, a cool feature about this car, I think, is the fact that the body does not come off. So you have two body clips, one in the front and one in the back. And those actually keep the body down, but there's also two additional clips that hook around the chassis. This is a regular plastic tub chassis. If you have an SC10, you will have seen chassis like this before. And then over here you see two tiny clips that actually put the internal roll cage around the chassis and keep it in place that way as well. So if this is like if you're going to use this on the track, which it's more than capable of, if you plan to do that, losing a body clip will not ruin your day or ruin your heat, because you can just keep running. This thing will stay into place. You just pop new body clips in afterwards and you're good to go. Let me take the body off and show you what's underneath. Now let's start off with the body itself. You can see that on the inside, you can see that there's that entire molded cage that I was talking about. Everything is really well accessible, so if you do want to take out the interior like I'm planning, there's just a couple of screws that you need to take out for it to actually dismantle. But you can tell that adding these bits of plastic to that body, it adds such an amount of rigidity that you actually have a super solid car. Something that you would not find with a regular short course truck. Let me put this to the side and show you the chassis itself. They say that this is a 2S LiPo compatible car. I've heard actually that you can also run it on 3 cells, so I'm going to give that a try and see what that does. The layout on the chassis is fairly standard. So over here you have your receiver box, and on the other side, just to balance it out, your ESC. This is a reedy ESC. You would find those on, I think, on all team associated vehicles. And then in the back is the 3300 kV reedy motor. As always, they have installed an XP digital servo with metal gears. I really like these servos, haven't had any problems with them yet. So when it comes to what they did right out of the gate, making it a running car, a really ready to run car, I think they did a great job on it. Compared to the regular SC10, so to the truck version, you would not find this bit over here, which is of course almost like a separate part of the body that sort of hooks around the motor and the motor plate and spur gear, keeping all of that stuff protected, also hooking up these two extra body panels. And you would not find the bumper that you see in front. This is a bumper that I really like. It really reminds me of the one that I have on my Pro 2 buggy. So you have these two bits over here which sort of absorb the impact so it doesn't transfer to the plastic shock towers and snap that off in case you do have a hard landing right on the front. All the turnbuckles, everything is like a hardened metal. The A-arms look good. Regular dog bone setup in the back. Nothing wrong with it as far as I can see. And of course, if there was anything wrong with it, the looks of the car really make up for it. So in the next week you will see me doing this car up. Why am I not working on any of my other projects? It almost seems like the mail office is keeping some of my stuff hostage. So I'm still waiting for some batteries. I'm waiting for an FPV system for my Ghost drone. Waiting for some parts for my Yeti XXL. I am waiting for so much stuff that I don't even know where to start. But with Christmas closing in, it seems like they're making over hours at the mail office. And it also seems like this is the time when accidents happen. Well, as long as I have some other stuff to do and some other stuff to concentrate on, I do not see it really being an issue. So this will be a cool project for me to do in between of all the waiting. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you want to check where I got this car, go have a look at all the links in the description box. If you want to be ahead of what I'm actually doing to this car currently, because most likely when you are watching this video I'm already plucking the thing apart, then don't forget to check out my Instagram and my Facebook. Links to that also in the description box. If you enjoyed this brief unboxing of the Team Associated SC10B, then don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and if you have any questions, hit me up in the box below, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you around. Bye bye.
Test. Back on.